going on, Respiratory family? Today, there was no work. So last night, I got off of the night shift and came back to the hotel room. And they didn't have any breakfast this morning due to, the virus that's going around. And they have this to-go bag. So I came in and I had, had got me prepared for bed, washed and stuff like that, and then had me a little snack at the to-go bag, and I went to sleep. And I only was able to sleep for a few hours, only until like 11 o'clock. So sometimes, like, I'm able to sleep, throughout, when I'm tired from the night before, I'm able to sleep. But I think sometimes internally my body realizes that, I'm on my own personal time, and I was up all night, and the world still goes on during the daytime, and I think my body knows that this is a time that I'm normally awake. So it woke me up, and I was like, feeling restless but unable to go back to sleep. And sometimes this is the issue when you work a night shift, because your internal clock, wants you to be awake at certain hours and wants you to be asleep at certain hours. And although I've been working night shift, for some time, I still have to battle with this, some time or another. And granted, maybe like an hour and a half later after, messing around, and then watching TV a little bit, and a bit on my phone on social media, I got a little more tired, and I cut the TV off so I wouldn't have any external distractions going on. I was able to get some sleep for a few more hours. But sometimes this is the struggle that we have to deal with as night shift healthcare workers, is that our internal clock sometimes regulates itself, and it wants to be up during the daytime. So some jobs do pay you a differential for night shift because they understand that this is taxing on your body, and it's not the natural way of your sleeping pattern, your circadian rhythm, regulates your sleeping pattern, and so on days off, since I was off today, I'm not doing too much. I decided to I can't do too much away because they're regulating our movements. But our gym at the hotel has a little gym at the basement, so I went into the gym for a little while. But my body wasn't quite ready for the workout. It's probably because I didn't eat either. Sometimes, I do a fasted workout, whereas though, you work out on an empty stomach, and that fat you burning is it's excess, pocketed fat storage in your body. But when you work out like that, you don't have the sugar that you would have if you had a meal prior to. So sometimes it's difficult to work out, on an empty stomach. Although there are some benefits, there are some deficits also. Like you don't have, like I said, the sugar that's going to power your workout and power your movements, and allow you to, effectively, move how you want to move, during your workout. But I went there and I did like 40 minutes there. So, the rest of the night, I'll go back to work tomorrow. I'm going to rest my body, and get prepared for tomorrow's shift. But today, since I slept so much during the day, I'm going to try to stay up a little bit later tonight. So, when it's time for me to get ready to go to work tomorrow evening, I'll be rested. So I'm going to try to, maybe stay up as long as I can, stay up like as if I was working overnight shift, stay up to like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and try to get my 8 hours of sleep, maybe be up by 8 or 12. But that's the struggle of working night shift sometimes. It's just that your circadian rhythm is regulating your body and your sleep patterns, and you aren't sleeping at your normal time. So you're just gonna get back on a regulated schedule, and you have to do what you have to do in order to make sure that you get adequate sleep and that you're ready to prepare and ready for the next shift, because the patients are awake at this time at overnight. A lot of times, it doesn't stop people from having exacerbations of symptoms, or having, issues and having to come into the emergency department. Like, people's are up at this time of night, so you have to be able to give your best effort, to these patients when they come into the hospital. So that's what I'll do sometime. I try to stay up a little bit later into the morning hours, so when it's time for me to go back to work the next day, I had adequate rest. And my days off, if I'm off for a few days, I'll be back on my normal rhythm. I'll be back at waking up during the daytime and sleeping throughout the night. So when working night shift, you just have to it is taxing on the body sometimes. But that's the job that we do. We aren't the only person who works overnight or graveyard shift. So it's something to look into when you're choosing not only a position that you want to work in, a career field, but if you'll be able to handle it, be able to handle being up 8 to 12 hours overnight shift, and then getting back into and getting back into the rhythm of things and trying to regulate your sleeping pattern so you can get adequate sleep for the next day. So yeah, life of a respiratory therapist, but I love it. I had a good a good shift last night into this morning. Wasn't too bad. It was pretty good. So respiratory and fitness.